Hi there, my name is Peter Vox, and I am the elite high-performance vocal coach at Vox Singing Academy, which was established in 1993. Now, last year, I released a couple of shorts and a couple of videos of myself teaching one of my students singing an Asian song. I'm pretty sure it was in Japanese. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it doesn't really matter. But I was teaching someone in another language. I got asked a few times by my students to come in, and also I got messages as well too in the comments asking me how I can teach another language when I don't understand or speak the language. Now, it's actually not as hard as what it probably seems, though you have to be very organized and you have to be a good singing teacher to do it. And I'm going to go into detail how I teach all of my students how to sing in other languages. Before I do that, though, if we could help you or someone that you know with their singing, we would be absolutely honored. We guarantee results in 3 weeks if you follow the teacher's instructions. We have numerous studios throughout Australasia. We also give online singing lessons worldwide 7 days a week. Check out the links below for more info. We'd be absolutely honored to help you or someone that you know with their singing. So, to go back to my original question that I was asked quite a few times is, how do you teach singing in another language when you don't understand or speak the language? Now, I've taught predominantly Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Hebrew, Russian, Spanish. They're really the main languages that I've taught, but particularly Chinese and Japanese. They're the big ones. I do and I've had and do have quite a lot of Asian students. We have a reputation in the Asian community, which is fantastic. Now, the end of this has got to come up. The end of this phrase, the word here, warinari. When I do 2.5, cry. I'm going to do it again. When I, your turn. When I, you got to have a bigger smile on that E because that E was flat. When I, your turn. When I, tight the stomach, that knee was still flat. When I, that's better. You've got to sustain that knee with the stomach. Yep. So I'm going to break it down very simply how I teach other languages. One of the big points is that when someone is singing in another language, I get them to write out or print the lyrics phonetically. So it's not written in Thai or Cantonese or Mandarin. What it is I get them to write it out in English, but phonetically what they're actually singing. So that's what I get the students to do. Reason being is that when someone is singing, and it doesn't matter what language they're singing in, you can only sing the 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and it doesn't matter what language you're singing in. So all we're basically doing is doing what we're doing in English, but in other languages. We're just basically just transferring from one vowel to the next with syllables and consonants in between. So as long as I have the lyrics written out line by line, phonetically, I can help and teach anyone sing in any language. It doesn't matter what language it is. Now, I'm just going to give you a very quick example here of what I mean. So if someone brought in a song, and I'm going to go, I just basically typed in a Chinese song. I think it's Chinese. And I'm just going to basically give you an example of what I do in a class. Again, I will show you in a class here but I'm also going to give you an example live here as well too. So I don't know what this person's saying, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just listen to one line. So he's singing, Angungwali, how do Windsor? No, it doesn't matter what I'm saying, okay? As long as it's written out like that, Angungwali, Andungwissa, okay? As long as it's written out English, I know what to do. Because the main point with this is to sing the right melody. Angungwali, Andungwissa. So that's the melody. So if the student is singing the song, we can always go back and refer to the original and hear them do that particular melody. Now, I'm going to just take that back again, okay, and have a listen to that line again. Hangungwali, Handuwissa. So that's the melody. And that's basically how I teach. So as long as I've got the lines written out line by line, phonetically in English, I can help any student. So it doesn't matter what language they're singing in. The trick is, though, as well, too, is with that is to make sure that, obviously, when we're working through songs, the number one point is pitch. We always want the student to be singing in pitch and in key all the time. So I will give them examples. Now, my pronunciation, I might not be saying the right things, but I will be doing the exact right melody like I was just then. I've never heard this song before. I basically just picked this song out. It was the first Chinese song that came up. So I said, I'm just going to go with this particular song here. This particular person has 3.3 million subscribers, and this song has 107 million views. So that's really how I work through a song. So number one is pitch. Number two is volume variances. Number three is obviously pronunciation. And if we have an original track to work off and to use as a soundboard, it's very, very easy. Now, I have also taught students who sing in Chinese original songs. And it's basically the same. It's exactly the same. They bring in their instrumental tracks. They sing over the top. They've got their lyrics written out phonetically. And I just listen to it and I hear what is sounding good and what's not sounding good. Now, generally, if it's not sounding good, pitch is the number one. Number two would be pronunciation, articulation, and diction. And number three would be volumes. So they're the three big ones, okay, that we look out for. But number one is pitch. Because if someone brings an original song, I can hear the piano or guitar. I know what song the key is in, and I know where they're basically got to be within the melody. So I know with their melody, I know what notes they've got to go to. So again, that's the art of being a very good singing teacher, is to be able to hear that key and know where the student wants to go or what notes they want to go to. Again, when I'm working with an original song, I'll also, if they're singing it flat or it sounds not that great, I'll give them an example of, I think, where they need to go or where they should go. And I'll say, is that the melody? Is that the closest melody that you like? And 99% of the time it is. They say, yes, that's where I want to go, but my voice isn't getting me there. So I show the student how to get there and to sing in that particular language and get the notes sounding great. Again, I always ask the student, is this how you want it to sound? Do you want it to be here? Do you want it to be in this key? Do you want this part to go higher? So I'm always really working with the student, particularly with originals, because I don't want to go and change the whole song just to suit their voice. Just to suit my voice, sorry. We want them to like what they're doing and enjoy the art that they're creating. So that's pretty much a very basic run through of how I teach other students or students in other languages, and it's not that hard. I teach in Bangkok during the Australian winter, and I teach numerous students over there in Thai. In Melbourne, we have a big reputation within the Chinese community, so I teach a lot of Chinese songs. Also the Jewish community as well too, so Hebrew and Russian is very common with the Orthodox Jewish community. So anyway, that's how I basically do it. If you have any questions for me, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think about what I've just said and the way that I teach. And I've been teaching students of other languages for 30 years. So it's something that I am very comfortable with. Though, as I said, just to recap, the student has to be very prepared. They have to write the lyrics out phonetically. If they've got an original song, we work through it with the instrumental. If they're working on a cover song, it's a lot easier because we've got a track that we can actually use as a soundboard. So it's quite easy. I'm going to give you a very quick and basic run through of how I work through songs that are sung in another language. So first and foremost, this is some lyrics that a student brought in. So this is actually from a class. Now you've got to think that all of this writing here that I've written in, the numbers and everything that's written here, wasn't there. So it was basically a clean sheet. Now this is a Japanese song. This is the first line in Japanese. This is the first line in Japanese written out phonetically. Okay, so when the student is singing, they need to write the lyrics out like this, phonetically in English, so that I know where they're up to. All of these other markings are basically what I write on the lyrics so that the student is taking these lyrics home and practicing with these lyrics with one run through, looking at my notes, then the second run through, looking in the mirror, trying to remember and apply these notes that I've done in the song. So I've listened to the student sing the song through once, and I've written these different notes through here, okay? Then I would basically break down the song line by line and make sure the student is doing the right volumes. So these numbers here are the volumes, the gears from 1 to 4 that the student has to sing. So 1.5 is very quiet and 4 is very, very loud. The student also has to use their mouth more. That's why I've written use mouth, and I've written here no air, no H's, because they were pushing through too much air and too many H's. Peter, when they were singing instead of Peter. Okay, so that's what they were doing. So these are their main points they have to focus on. Not look at this, but just to focus on when they're singing the song. Now I'm going to play the song here now, and we're going to hear the artist sing this in Japanese, but we're going to follow this phonetically. And this first line is gear 1.5. So we're going to say that the student's singing this. Have a listen to this. Okay, so that was the first line there. As you can see, that was the first line that the student sung, or the artist sung, and the student was singing along to it, or using a karaoke track. So that was gear 1.5. This is now the second line here. You're going to see it starts a little bit louder, and we're going to end. This is a smiley face, and the highlight means to cry. And the arrow means the note's got to go up a lot higher to gear 2.25. You're going to hear the volume raise here, and these are the instructions. Okay, so this is written out phonetically. We're going to listen to the next line. So that's the instructions. As the student is singing that, that's what they're singing, and that's phonetically written out. Now this is the next line here. It's going to drop back down again to 1.5. So from gear 2.25 down to 1.5, down to 1.25 here. Let's have a listen to the next line. Okay, so that was that line there. So you can see it started 1.5, went down to 1.25. Here's the next line here, okay? Okay, so we're down to here, okay, now, okay, so that's where we're at, it's moving pretty quickly, okay? So we were just there, okay, that was that compressed sound, okay? That's a cry, compressed sound, okay? Okay, so we're just here now, okay? So that ni was a smile, so that's where we are here, okay? We're going to go down to here. This is where we are here, this mo here, okay? So we're right here now. Okay, so that's where we are there, okay? Now we've gone back to the start here, okay? So we're going back to the start here, okay? So she's just started back at the start now, okay? Let's keep it going just for a little bit more. Here. Okay, so we're here now, okay? So we're going into here now. So anyway, that's a very quick run through of basically how I work through a song with a student that's singing in another language and I don't know what the student is singing. As I said, it doesn't really matter because all of the vowels that we're singing in any language are the same. So as long as I have the lyrics written out phonetically like this in English, I can work through any song in any language at all and help the student out. So that's basically how I work in lessons. You know, generally I would get the student to sing the song with the artist firstly. So they would sing all the way through and then I would make some basic notes. Then I would work through the song line by line to make sure the student's doing the right volumes, the crying, louder, smiling, placing all these breaths, compressed sound, down to 1 3/4 smiling, going up here in false, that's falsetto, that's where she sung falsetto, was those red brackets, then the real big louder thing here. And then I would put these lyrics in front of the student and then I would run through these, the whole song with the student looking at the lyrics in the class, trying to apply the skills that we've just basically done in class through the whole entire song, and then the student would take it home and practice that during the week. Hopefully the song is greatly improved by the next week. Then we go with the karaoke or the instrumental. Hopefully the song's good after that. Then we move to a next song. That's how we do it. Thank you. Bye-bye.